Hi, welcome to Quality in a Quick video series. In today's episode, we're going to discuss a topic that I absolutely love, which is on walkthroughs, reviews, and inspections. Now, just for the sake of time, I'm going to use the term reviews during the whole episode. So the main goal of a review is to identify defects within the stage or phase of the project where they originate, rather than in later test stages. This is referred to as stage containment. As you can imagine, there are many benefits. Some of the different types of reviews include feasibility reviews, requirements reviews, design reviews, code walkthroughs, code inspections, and requirements tracing. So a review is a quality control technique that relies on individuals, so a team, other than the author or authors of the deliverable or the product to evaluate that deliverable. The purpose of the review is to find errors before the deliverable, for example, a requirement document, is actually delivered either to the customer or to the next step of the development cycle. So the purpose of reviews is to emphasize quality throughout the SDLC, the software development lifecycle. It also detects defects where they are introduced. As I mentioned earlier, that's known as phase containment. It also provides a logical opportunity to involve the end user, the customer, as well as other groups such as quality assurance and the testers in the whole development process. It also permits mid-course corrections. On one engagement that I was on, it was actually with the FBI, and they had an incredible peer review process. As you can imagine, as a quality assurance and software tester expert, it was very beneficial to be involved in reviews with the rest of the development team, with the customer, with operations, because while we were going through the review, I as a tester would ask myself, gee, I wonder how I'm going to test that. How can it be tested? So when you think about detecting defects, most defects are introduced early, but not detected until much later. I know you've all heard this statistic on how much more expensive that is. Gartner has actually indicated and reported that more than 50% of defects occur in the requirement stage. So doing peer reviews helps provide a better way, an earlier way, to detect those defects sooner and make the correct adjustments or resolutions. With customer involvement in mid-course corrections, the customer can provide input via the review process. If a project is found to be off track or changes have occurred in the environment, then we can correct for that. Prerequisites to a reviews. So you have to take a look at your SDLC. Without common products, without common reviews and policies and procedures, then reviews just are not practical. They have to be enforced. It also, the review process must have management support. That allows a commitment of time and resources. And with the review process, it has to be well defined. It must be understood and installed. And then it has to have staff support. So the team members must be on board. And also training must be provided in regard to the review process. So with the process itself, the review actually evaluates the correctness of a single product, such as a database or a program module or a requirement document. And the evaluation is based on whether or not the product satisfies its specifications or entrance criteria. So the different workflow steps, if you will, involve planning, overview, preparation, inspection, rework, and the all-important follow-up. The other thing that's very important is I want to emphasize the preparation piece. On the FBI project that I was on, they were so adamant about preparation that there were a number of reviews where The different team members would show up for that review, and if there was anybody that was not prepared, if they had not read the materials that had been sent out in advance, they would actually say time out, and they would stop the review and reschedule it for a later date. So with the inspection team, you want to make sure that you include individuals such as somebody to be a moderator, and they would actually manage the whole process. You would want the reader. It's important that the reader understands the material and they're able to paraphrase the material during the inspection and set the pace. The recorder. So the recorder is not the stenographer. No, rather what they're making sure that they notate are any errors, and they classify the errors that get detected. And they keep that error list and review it, share that with the review participants at the end of the meeting. You've got to have the producer and author or authors there. So they would be the individual or individuals that gathers and distributes the materials, and they provide the product overview, and they're available for clarification even after the review meeting. And then you want to make sure you have your inspectors. They must be prepared, everybody actually must be prepared, but they inspect the product closely, so whether it's the code, the requirement, and they must be objective and supportive. So something I haven't talked about is the personality of team members, but it needs to remember, it's got to be, you want to avoid conflict, you want to avoid emotions. And then you also want to include in your team a standards expert. So they've got to know the policies and procedures, the IT standards, and they want to ensure that those standards are met and the procedures are followed. So I hope you found today's episode helpful. Please feel free to send us an email, share your thoughts, ask any questions, and please let us know of any topics you'd love to hear about. And then also here's some exciting events that Checkpoint Technologies will be hosting in the near future. Thank you so much. Have a great day.